And welcome back to Talking Smack Hours. We're your hosts, TJ, Bay, and Alan Poe, back once again, bringing you guys the latest and the greatest. T, how has your week been? And before we get started, I just want to apologize. Last week, or 2 weeks ago, we had some information, or our last episode get erased, and we couldn't get it done, couldn't put it out. I lost everything, so we apologize for that. And this past week, it was holiday season, so we figured, spend time with family and not really put anything out. Now, other than that, it's the day after Christmas. So how's your Christmas, T?
Christmas was cool. Merry Christmas to you all.
Yes.
And yeah, that was it. So
You
had a cool Christmas, ate some good food, watched sports, and that's it.
I did the same thing, but I was kind of, after yesterday, I was kind of a little burnt out on sports because, football was all day Saturday, and then you had football and basketball yesterday. So weren't you a little burnt out from sports? Just a little bit? Like it was a little too much for me.
Nah, I was cool with it. It was nice, right, man. I don't get to watch sports all day anymore. And that right there was nice. Got to watch my stepson and shit, so we was chilling.
That's what's up. Yeah, so let's touch on some of the topics that we want to speak about on our last episode. So real quick, we're going to do a quick rundown on 3 of the topics. The first one is Deion Sanders. I know it's been said, it's been talked about, it's been fleshed out. But real quick, I just want to say, we had told you guys that you really can't listen or believe everything that you hear. One of the real big things that was going on about Deion was that he was a sellout for leaving Jackson State and going to Colorado. But then come to find out, the reason why he left to begin with was because Jackson State University wasn't giving him his money.
Yes, that's right.
And that's fucked up. It'd be all kind, so.
All right, well, we did have a lot to say in our other episode, but I'm going to sum it up a little short, just my opinion of the matter.
All right.
Most coaches that play in any sport, starting off at a lower level, I mean, the object of them starting off there is, for them to rise. So there's a starting point, and as you get better or as you compete and you do well, you go up. Now, I understand that Deion was at a black BC or an HBCU, and he was standing for something a lot more than just him coaching there. But we also have to look at the aspect of the business of it. I mean, the business aspect of it is when you're a coach, like when you get a better opportunity to move up, you know what I'm saying? You do it.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that Deion was trying to stay, a lot of people wanted him to stay there because it meant like a bunch for black people, man. But with all you people saying that, like, you weren't putting money in Deion's pocket and stuff like that. You were just wanting them to do something and take hits and just, not be able to provide and do stuff for him. But as long as he did something for them and like nobody supported, we all supported him, not financially, but, spiritually and mentally.
Right.
It would mean something. Nah, man, the man got bills to pay. He got, he got, a family to take care of, man. Like, man, we need to cut that crap, man. Like, I understand if he was big, and if that was the case, and those people that wanted him to stay at the HBCU, then you should have stepped up and been like, you know what, we're gonna do this. We're gonna donate $10,000 to Jackson State to help you keep Deion there. We're gonna donate such and such to help you keep Deion. And then I'm sure you might not have been. And if he had left, then you had a ground to stand on when you say these things. But since nobody did that, and now everybody just want to be pissed off that he left and didn't know the financials of anything, like, what I'm saying, they all just put their foot in their mouth.
Definitely. Me personally, I think it's, I'm kind of tired of the word culture. And it seems like the rich black people always talk about the culture, right? And when they say, oh, the culture, this, culture, that, those who aren't financially higher up, they believe in that, right? So yeah, do it for the culture, right? But the same ones who are saying that, they have the money, but they're not even representing the culture. They're just talking to you about what black people should do, but yet they're not doing it themselves.
Yeah.
So if you want something to change, just lead by example.
Right. And then we see, and people talk about this. I know even Dr. Umar Johnson said this, when he's trying to build a school, right?
Hmm.
And he was trying to hire black contractors to build the school, and it was taking them months and years to get it done. And then he turned around and had to hire white contractors, and he got the shit done in 3 months. So like it's we can't sit here and keep asking people to do something for somebody, and what I'm saying, and we can't even do it for ourselves. Like you can't ask Dion to stay somewhere, nigga, and just not expect him not to get paid. Just you know, his morals and him being a black, Deion Sanders is just gonna take care of everything, just pay everything, and everybody gonna give it to him free. Nah, he still got to pay for stuff. You know what I'm saying? And plus, he did all that stuff that came out of his pocket himself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what more can we ask from a man?
And that's the thing that he didn't divulge that to begin with, because
Right.
he wanted to keep that under wraps, right? But then when people start coming out the woodworks talking about him, he's like, oh, okay, well, let me tell you what I did for the school and what they didn't do for me. And now it's like, oh, okay, now we get why you left. So
Yeah, and then now that he's at Colorado, you see what this man is doing. He's sticking it to everybody. He's like, y'all shouldn't, never count me out, nigga. You know what
he
I'm saying?
snatched
I'm Dion,
everybody
nigga.
up.
Prime time, you know what I'm saying? Now Colorado is gonna be prime time. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's cool. In the next 2 or 3 years, nigga, will be in the top 10. I guarantee you it'll be in the top 10 nations, you know what I'm saying? Because the players they're getting, the coaches he's putting together too, man, it's a win-win kind of situation. And all
Mhm.
the little black kids and all that stuff, and just not even just the black kids on the football team. You know how many people is just gonna be wanting to go to Colorado just
Yeah.
because Dion's there, period. Like just the student alumni, like they're gonna have the the black population in Colorado is gonna at this school is gonna rise now just because Dion is there and just because they have a chance to be a part of something. I'm sorry, that's special. You
I'm
got to
sh-
look past the fucking where it is because Colorado, and then Cordell Stewart said it himself. You know what I'm saying? That place is godly. You know what I'm saying? They took care of him, did all this. It does not matter how many people, like the percentage of black people that's there, man. It matters how the people are towards you.
right.
And if they're not good towards you, then shit, I'm count me, you know what I'm saying? Sign me up too.
Now I'm sure you saw a lot of videos on YouTube how when Jackson State would come out of the tunnel, they had the music playing, Dion's dancing, bobbing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Turning up. Yep.
I'm wondering if Colorado is going to give him that same freedom, or
They gonna get that man whatever he want, man.
uh, so that he going to turn Colorado into Flavor Town.
And we don't know if it's not already not. Like, I
That's
mean,
true.
on paper, if you look on paper, like the analytics and shit, it says, oh, okay, it's predominantly a white population and stuff like that. But who's to say, like, the people there, like a lot of people there smoke weed. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, a
Hmm.
lot of the student athletes there are black and a lot of people there look up to the student athletes. So what makes you think that when you go there that they're not seeing people, just these African American people as what I'm saying, just other people that possibly can bring a good time. You know what I'm saying? Just like they don't know, man. Like people are just they're jumping the gun on shit and bringing up issues that don't even need to be addressed.
True. All right. Well, after we broke that one down a little bit, you know what
Real
I'm saying?
quick, hold on though. But what do you think the time frame you think is Dion's gonna start? You know what I'm saying, showing flexing his muscle. You know what I'm saying, with like winning and stuff.
Tell you the truth, I think next year.
Really,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I was just saying like I think next year too they at least gonna be 500 or up.
Yeah. I really think next year he's going to have those kids buy into
Yeah,
his philosophy. And Travis Hunter just came over. His son's over there. So, I mean,
Humphrey, fucking stop, man.
for those who don't know, that's Titans dog Humphrey. You know what I'm saying? His baby,
This motherfucker,
his little
hold on
boy.
real quick, man. I get beyond of it till next year because they're gonna go 500 and up easy.
Yeah, it's going to be. Well, it all depends on if USC is leaving next year or next year or the year after. There's going to be three contenders. It's going to be Colorado, Utah, and USC.
Oh, yeah. You mean just do you think they may contend for a title already?
I think so.
Oh, that's
I
yeah,
mean,
well,
it all depends on USC, whoever their quarterback is, because they don't have Williams anymore. He's gone.
right.
Utah, they're always the problem.
Oh yeah, Williams is going to the pros.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see. All right, let's move along. So our other topic that we were speaking about was, you want to touch on Brittany Griner, or do you want to touch on the other one
Man,
first?
yeah, let's touch on Brittany Griner real quick because the other one's gonna be a little bit longer.
Okay.
So we all know that Brittany Griner came home, right?
Thank God she's home.
Yes, thank God, she's home, all that good stuff. And I do I do appreciate what she did say though, because she said she's going to use her platform to help people get out over there, and she's going to help Paul Whelan as much as she possibly can with her building some of the connections. Now, I think she might even be able to do that. If she does do that, in fact, I think the swap may be a little more justified.
Possibly. I just think, and I mean, first of all, the deal wasn't really, I mean, the swap, it wasn't that great of a deal. I mean, in comparison, yes, you have a black woman who was locked up for some cannabis product, but they don't play that shit over in Russia. But yet we traded that for a gentleman who's known for, weapons trades. So when it comes to the security of the United States and of the globe itself, do you think that was a fair trade? Me personally, I say not, but I'm glad she's home for the holidays. I'm glad she's with her family and friends, and hopefully this could be a lesson learned for everyone. Like, although you might be big time in the United States, and she was probably huge over in Russia, it doesn't matter who you are or your perception. If you break the law, you got to pay the consequences, basically.
I'm a little at arms about something now because I did notice this. If this dude, if the merchant of death was caught on U.S. soil, um, what was he doing here?
I mean, who knows? Maybe he's trading some secrets.
Nah, man.
Maybe he's in cahoots
Hello?
with all right, I play like this. I'm not the smartest nigga in the world, but I do know how to paint by number or color by number. Okay,
Right,
so all of this, it's all a game, basically. The human race is being treated as if it's a huge game board. So for those who have
right.
young kids, I would really really have you guys teach your kids these three games. The first one, Monopoly, right? You want to learn
Mm-hmm.
about money and what your money can
Mm-hmm.
do for you and how to make good deals and how to bargain. Two,
You can
Battleship,
also learn about bad things with Monopoly too, making bad deals and how you
right?
lose a lot of money. But go ahead.
Two, Battleship,
Right.
right? So you can try to figure out where your enemy is and try to figure out how to find them, without really knowing how to infiltrate to find out where their resources are. And thirdly is the game of Risk, because if you play Risk, you're going to find out a lot about yourself, how much you're willing to give up in order to win.
Right. Yeah. So I mean,
And that kind of goes for all three or all these topics that we're going to speak about today. It all falls in line with coloring by number.
all right. Okay. So yeah, Brittany Griner, we are glad she is home. And yes, we swapped her for someone that could possibly, help kill US citizens and stuff like that. But what I do
Or the
have to
world.
question, or I don't know about the world, but what I do have to question is why he was caught on US soil. And I'm not saying anything like whatever, but it's just questionable that he was caught here. So I fuck it, man. I don't got no fucking filter. Cause like, nigga, he was obviously selling something to some U.S. people. So like,
Yeah.
nigga, and
Or
then when he got caught, what happened was he was here just selling to some U.S. people. I don't give a damn. This is my theory of it. It's just opinion.
mhm.
He was here selling to some U.S. people. He got caught. Nigga, they went through all his stuff. In the interrogation, they found out that he was selling to U.S. enemies and stuff like that. People that aren't, down with us, and they labeled him what he is, a war crime. I'm thinking because I'm thinking too. I don't think the Lord of War with Nicolas Cage is like. I don't think it was just a movie. I think it's honestly that's how that shit is. Them motherfuckers will sell. You know what I'm saying? They'll sell guns to their mama. You know what I'm saying? And
I
so
mean,
like,
we,
I
we
don't
talk
think
about
this
it.
dude.
We talk about it every
uh,
time, man. Movies and real life. So
Right. I don't think this dude has like nigga. I don't think this dude picks sides and who he's selling his guns to. It's whoever got the most skrill. You know what I'm saying? I got the guns to kill.
mhm. Okay. I see you out here rapping. Yes. All
Nigga, you
right.
know what
All
I'm
right.
saying? Nigga, I'm
Yeah.
throwing my little metaphor in there.
Right. Uh, all right.
Mm,
So, like we said, Brittany Griner, welcome home.
brief.
Um,
Yes.
hopefully you had a great Christmas. All right. What was the third one? Oh yeah. All right. So another sense of a trade. This one is for freedom. So we got Young Gunna and
Oh,
YSL.
wait. Didn't we have one more topic besides this one?
Yeah, but we talked about this one first, so I want to talk about Young Gunna first, and then we can get to
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm guessing we probably gonna be on this one for a minute because there's been a lot of shit that happened since we talked.
right.
A whole lot.
So did he snitch?
Yes, Gunna, in my opinion, Gunna snitched, and you cannot tell me anything different. That is what happened, and now he is known as he went from being, what I'm saying, the kingpin in this Rico case to taking a plea to now becoming a witness. Gunna
So
will be taking the stand in this trial.
so
If Young Thug, what?
what does that say? Because it wasn't just him. There was the co-founder who also did a plea
All
deal.
them niggas,
Right.
everybody who took a plea deal now is a witness, is a possible witness in this in Young Thug's trial. If it goes to trial, the prosecutors can bring in everyone they gave a plea deal to. And they can also use that now because when we did, like right before we talked, we didn't know that Young Thug was getting his phone tossed out.
Right.
And what we didn't notice, I don't know if you guys, everybody noticed this, but once his phone got tossed out, nigga, that's when they started pitching these pleas. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. So it's all a strategy shit. A lot of people are saying on the internet now, like, oh, they're just giving plea deals because they don't got shit on Young Thug. You know what I'm saying? Like that. You guys really like it. Even a common person that even knows law and went to jail knows that that's not what's happening right now. They're setting up to make Young Thug that he is the target of this whole investigation. When the prosecutors call him King Slime, that's what they mean. They mean he's the man. That's the one they want. That is the target.
Now, I don't know too much, but my question would be to you: are they going after him because he's rich? Because he has the funds, he has the necessary tools in order to get whatever they're saying get done. Like, in other words, what if, okay, I'm playing devil's advocate, but what if he just fronted? Like, what if he had no involvement in all this, but he just fronted out money to his friends?
Doesn't matter. He's still he's still he's still the main the head of the snake, you know what I'm saying? And even if he did just front it off to them and then like nigga, what y'all do with it is up to you. But I don't want nothing to know. I don't want to know nothing you did with it. It does
Right.
not matter. You're still the head of the snake. You're still giving your money to these possible criminals, you know what I'm saying? And whether you know what they're doing or not, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're directly the one giving these people this money. So you hold a high amount of accountability in this. So it doesn't matter. Like, I mean, you may get lesser years for it being like
Right.
that, but
I,
from what we see in some of the evidence, and we don't even know all the evidence out, but from what the evidence that is out,
mhm.
it wasn't that he was the one just giving the money and being like, I don't know what you doing with it.
Right.
So
It,
all I gotta
there has
say
to
is,
come. Go ahead.
go ahead.
No, 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 no. Go ahead. Finish.
I'm just gonna say, man, nigga, you can't like a thug, nigga. That's your constitutional right, nigga. You can fight this case, but if they come at you with some bullshit, because before this sentencing, or I mean before your trial, because he can off write up his own plea deal to where he's been like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I will admit to this. And, you know what I'm saying? Just like Gunna did, admit he's a gang, you know what I'm saying? Then just take the fall. Like you do some Bobby Schmurder shit. So niggas just tell him, like, hey, nigga, I'll sit down for 10 because on $1 million a game, you know what I'm saying? Nigga, you said you could do that, nigga,
Right.
and you wouldn't flinch. So nigga, just go and just tell him, like, hey, nigga, I accept my accountability. Nigga, you know what I'm saying? I'm aware that people might have died. I'm not saying that they did die because of me. I'm aware that people might have died because of me. I am sorry for that. I will do 10 years, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know what I'm saying? And then you can tack on another 10 years of probation.
Um, when you brought that up just now, $1 million worth of game, um, it had me thinking just now. So, you know, the hip hop community is intertwined. Everyone knows what everyone else is doing. So it's
Mm-hmm.
just kind of funny that that conversation came up.
Yeah, it's coming
And
up a lot now.
right,
It's coming up a lot now.
but like what I'm saying is, okay, now um Wallow, he had went to prison, right? So he knows about the
Mm-hmm.
game, right? But it's just kind of, I'm not saying funny, but it's kind of strange that he would kind of have that heart to heart during that episode and kind of tell him the exact things that were going to happen.
No, Bill. So yeah, he did warn him, and he made it so. Well, when you watch, I mean, if you haven't watched it yet, it's on it. You know, it's on YouTube right now. They're
Right.
bringing it back up. Wallow sat there and told him, but you can see how standoffish Young Thug was when he was trying to tell him this. And he was sitting there saying, like, you know, I know you got these certain morals and you live by this certain way, but there's other dudes around you who don't move like that.
Right.
And that's what you need to be wary of. And he was just like, nah, I ain't trying to hear that. All my niggas around me is solid. You know what I'm saying? I don't have nobody around me. I got a rat radar. You know what I'm saying? I know who can tell before they even tell.
Right.
And so I'm wondering if he was sitting in jail saying that to about all his own and shit like that. Because I don't care what you say, I don't care how you spin it, man. Them niggas is getting ready to tell. And from what they did say, yes, that is bad. You can like the whole argument and what would have got everything thrown out for the most part is if they just all would have stayed 10 toes down and said that it was not a gang there or the record label.
Now I know they all have, the majority of them have different lawyers, but do you think in a parallel universe, Thug was like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'll take the bid. Y'all do what you got to do. Get back on the
Hell
streets.
no. Hell no. Man, that nigga. I mean, I seen what I seen from Thug was solid, nigga, but I ain't see that, nigga. I ain't see that, nigga. Hell no, nigga. You go from being solid to you're straight stupid. Cause like if that nigga said that, then he's stupid. No, nigga. What he wanted them niggas to do is stay 10 toes down, like just like I said, not to say they wasn't a game. That makes the strength of his case,
Right.
10 like 100 times stronger than it was now.
Definitely. Definitely.
Because now they damn near just ruined, like they just ruined everything for the nigga, man. You know what I'm saying? That lets you know they're putting Thug in the vice grip and trying to get this nigga now. He's not getting no plea. and their main focus was they're sitting there saying stuff like certain things like, oh, when you was so with so and so, this wasn't yours. But nigga, you sitting in the car with the other dude who is Young Thug. Like, who else is the other shit gonna be? Oh, when you was in jail from that Obama nigga, he was like, oh, somebody told you to do it, and yet it was this dude that told you. Like, he's damn near saying that Young Thug told him to kill YFN Lucci in jail, and that's what's gonna get Young Thug cooked if that's real. That's done. He's done if that's the case. And that dude, Obama dude, is a bad dude for that is one of the worst dudes that could have took a plea in this whole case right there. Because if they can prove that Young Thug, like not even that Young Thug ordered the hit, if they can prove that he had to check in with Young Thug to see how much he would get if he killed YFN Lucci, because that's bad as fuck. Period. That means he's putting prices on niggas' heads, man. And that proves the prosecutor's case.
Right. Yeah, I tried to get too involved in the street shit, but yeah, like you said, I mean,
I'm
well,
just
well, the only thing is, I mean, just like you said, uh, the only thing that kind of works in his favor was that they threw out the phone. So if there were any text messages or phone calls, then they can't use that evidence. So that kind of, but you understand what I'm saying? That kind of might throw that out the window as far as like not being able to use that.
Well, yeah, they can't use the phone there, but now they got the people that he was texting.
Right. But now it's going to be up to them if they're sitting on the stand and be like, yeah, he told me to do it. Now that's going to be the problem. If they plead, I mean,
Well,
if
the
they
thing
plead the
is,
fifth,
see,
say,
the Obama dude can plead the fifth in that certain instance for him saying like, okay, yeah, he told me to kill YFN Lucci. He can plead the fifth to that actual question.
right.
But other people cannot plead the fifth to certain things. Like, you know what I'm saying? Gunna can't plead the fifth if he heard, like, if he said, I heard, if, say if the prosecutor asked him a question about, just from off a wiretap, like, I heard that you was in the room when Young Thug ordered somebody to do a certain thing. I mean, Gunna can't be like, I plead the fifth to that because it's not incriminating to him. He's just in the room. He has to answer. He has to be like, yes, sir, I was in the room when that was said. And that's how he truthfully has to answer. And that's right there because it's fuck, man. I if whatever, no matter what side of the law you on, cause like you gotta respect it. Cause like I mean, if you on the bad side of the law, like you respect thugs lawyers for getting shit thrown out. But if you on the prosecutor side of the law, you gotta respect that these niggas like they was like, okay, you want to get this thrown out, nigga. Here comes the
I'm gonna
curveball.
hit you with this. Blood
Yeah,
out.
here
Oh,
comes the
shit.
curveball. Now, nigga, what you gonna do?
Right. Change
So,
up.
because yeah, you're like, man, it's just if only them dudes would have just not took the plea. And I was looking at like I was listening to some of their charges and shit. Like motherfuckers was just getting Ricos, like they was just getting hit with Ricos just for saying YSL. You know what I'm saying? Being associated with YSL. Like one of that one dude, I forgot who he was. Like he got a RICO charge just for making YSL clothing.
Oh wow. Well, yeah, he could be like, yeah. I mean, they pay me to make clothing for him. That's not a crime.
Nigga, like, bro, why would you take a plea?
Right. Yeah, I see what you're
Why
saying.
would this dude take a plea?
Yeah, I see. Or they could say, unless you're saying, hey, you're taking, you know, funds that are, connected to certain things to get, what I mean,
That's
to your process or whatever to get
right.
made.
But apparently that's not even like that's not even in his things. Like there's no like how other people have separate charges. Yes, they're in violation of the RICO Act, but they're also in violation of this. They also have assault charges. They also have murder charges within the RICO Act.
Right.
if your shit is just Rico Act, like nigga, you're stupid because you took a deal. If you took a plea deal and your shit is just Rico Act, you're dumb, nigga. You ain't solid. You can't talk all that bullshit like nigga. You tough and all this
Well,
shit,
I
nigga. You
mean,
going to trial like nigga because nah, man, they broke you. Nigga, they broke you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? They picked you up like a twig, nigga, and snapped you in half. Yeah,
but look, I mean, look at it this way. So if this guy's just making T-shirts, right? So obviously he's not involved in
nothing.
YSL, right?
Right.
But
He could be
but
involved in YSL, but not the street ethics, not the you know.
right, but that's what I'm saying. But although he's not involved in it, when these prosecutors come talking to him, they're telling him, "Hey, you can be responsible for this, this, reach for this, and this." And in this case, like, all I did was make T-shirts. Hell, no, I ain't going to jail for. You understand what I'm saying? So so they tricked him into thinking,
Yes,
you know,
yes,
into thinking that
yes.
yeah, you're involved in this, you're going to jail for a long time. When all he did was make shirts. So it's 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 messed up. He should have had his defense
I
attorney
was
there
just
with
gonna
him.
say shame on his lawyer too,
Yeah,
because like
yeah,
that was, and he probably might have had a public defender doing that some shit like that. Because
and they're all working together.
right, I never heard of no, I would have never heard of no fucking actual lawyer doing some shit like that.
Yeah,
Like not
scandalous.
even with him not even being involved in shit. Like nigga, you just caught a Rico at. There's nothing else under your thing. Like that's what Gunna too is like. Yes, Gunna was the head of the snake. They did all this shit to Gunna because they just scared him because that's all they did. And we knew that Gunna wasn't a street dude. Well, I knew that. You
Mhm.
can call him Gunna all you want. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's his rap name. Nigga. That's like that's not who he is. He's
Right.
not a partner. He can be he's not no crip. I don't care what people say. He's not no Crip. He may know Crips and be affiliated with Crips. He may got family in the Crips, but he's not no Crip. Nigga, you don't do that. Like, nigga, that nigga folded like origami. Cause let's just keep it straight, man. Like, nigga, that's it, man. All them niggas folded, man. That's like all them songs they was talking about because I and everybody keeps saying this like this. Charleston White is like I didn't even know this. They got a song called Gunna and Thug got a song called Take It to Trial. Nigga,
It was like,
like
okay.
nah. Thug was like okay. Gunna was like hell no, nigga. Like fuck no, nigga. And that's how you know Gunna. I'm sorry, because like okay, I never. He does the nigga make good music, but the niggas like he a punk. Cause like that's how you know he ain't hard. Cause like there's no hard bone in that nigga body for him to you know what I'm saying. Do like if you can't do like you had you these nigga, they was probably touching Gunner booty up in there, cause like you know what I'm saying, rubbing all on his hair, cause you know what I'm saying, like making that nigga not take showers, cause taking his lunch and dinner from him, like that nigga get you know, his commissary niggas is like you know, walking up to the nigga like, oh, what you got, nigga? Nigga got the chili cheese fried Fritos right
Free.
there. Like, nigga, give me those, cause like nigga, you like, oh, nigga, them is mine, cause like, nigga, shut your little ass up, nigga.
Yeah, that was my commissary.
Yeah, nigga, that's like that.
My
Nigga,
mom
that's
put
why
that
then
in my commissary.
he had to get up out of there. Yeah, he had to get up out of there quick, nigga. Like it's different if you fight in your case, you know what I'm saying, and you get a, you know, you get something to where you plead down and you get out and you don't really have to say nothing. But like he said, man, you went to court. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Like, man, come on, you soft ass nigga. You uh,
Well, I can put
stage puff.
well. I'm not a big Gunna fan, so I haven't heard
I like a
a lot.
couple of the songs. I
I
heard a
haven't.
couple of the
I heard a
songs.
couple, but I mean the real popular ones. But I never heard him and his music about he's killing niggas and he's shooting and he's selling drugs. You know what I mean in his music. Whereas some artists, that's what they're all about, right? So I never heard that in his lyrics. So how can you assume that he is a street dude?
Because they have a song called "Take It to Trial."
Okay.
They have other songs where Thug is nigga. If you're in the same, okay. Let me tell you this, young
Well,
now.
hold on.
Wait, hold on. Let me finish. Don't cut me off. Let me finish real quick. Okay. if you're say if I'm rapping, if it's me and you, and I'm rapping about me killing niggas, you know what I'm saying, and doing shit like that, and you in my video right next to me, nigga, whether you made the beat and doing all that shit and you dancing on it, nigga, you associated with what I'm talking about. It's because you in my video. And nigga, you know, even if you're in my video, you gonna be sitting there, nigga, doing your gun shit, clicking and shit too, like you know them niggas do, like, like the perfect example, cause the Migos and what's that song, Bad and Bougie?
Mhm.
Them niggas walking around talking about Lil Uzi talking about shoot 'em up, bang, you know, whatever the fuck, nigga, you know damn well you ain't finna do that. It's the same thing.
Well, in that case, half the niggas in the music industry should be sitting alongside R. Kelly.
I mean, unless I
I
mean,
mean, no, no,
if you
they're not singing about it, but they're still in the video with him and they're dancing, nod their head to the beat. I mean, going off what you know what you're
guilty by
saying.
it, that's what they're saying is it should be it's guilty by association.
Mm,
Right?
yeah. Hey, I ain't do it. Nigga.
Yeah, but you also
Hey.
we also gotta I mean we also gotta just I mean we gotta keep the 100 too. The law does pick and choose though.
True.
It picks and chooses like tremendously.
What
And
they
the
want.
reason
Yeah.
why and then I mean, if you have anything else to say on this topic with YSL, because I mean, all I just got to say is all the niggas snitch. I don't care if you see it as pleas and all that shit. It's snitching when you go in court and you talk to the judge and you admit to crimes that other people are involved in your case. Man, you're a co-defendant in that case. If you, excuse me, if you admit to something in that case where your it hurts your co-defendants, you snitched. Period.
We can move on because you know he seemed really passionate, upset about this. I was like, "Fuck that,
Nah,
man."
nigga, yeah, I'm just saying this, man. People don't know because, like, you could, if you care about paperwork or whatever, you can look. Because in my case, nigga, there, all my co-defendants tried to snitch on me. I'm just smarter than them. So, you know, anyways, like that, I am passionate about that because, like, and if it was back in the day and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, like I wouldn't have killed them or anything like that. But nigga, I'd have socked all every one of them niggas that tried to snitch on me and shit like that. So that's what I'm very passionate about. I have a reason to like not snitches because they tried to put me away for a long time on some bullshit.
Well, I mean, if you've ever watched Get Rich or Die Trying, violence only begets more violence. It don't
Yeah.
begets more money.
All right. All right.
All right. So now next to the other trial of the century.
Man,
Drum
this is
roll, please.
okay. Now, we just talked about injustice and all that stuff, but is this injustice? All right.
Okay. So
Now let them know what we're talking about first. My bad.
okay, the trial of the century. Everyone's been talking about it. You know, it seems like it's men against women and who's right, who's wrong. But yet we're speaking about, you know, Tory Lanez versus Megan the Stallion
And
and
it's not
this
men against
trial.
women. It's Tory against Megan.
But people on the
People
internet
say
and
yeah,
people on
yeah,
Reddit, it seems like, you know, it's like
yeah,
men and women are going at each other. Who's telling the truth? Who's not? Me personally, everybody's fucking lying.
yeah.
Nobody
You know,
wanted to say what really happened. And that's the crazy part. No one wanted to say it really happened. Okay, there's three of you in the vehicle, but only Megan said, yeah, Tori shot me. Okay. Megan's friend Kelsey was like, yeah, I don't know what happened. And Tory Lanez didn't even testify. My only thing is, okay, if Kelsey had all the gunpowder residue on her, Tory had minimal, yet he had no DNA on the weapon. How is he guilty?
well, at I mean, at best, it should have been like saying a mistrial, and they should have thrown it out to maybe came back to it and had a retrial if there was more evidence that came up. But this should have been a mistrial because
And I'm not trying to say that Megan's a liar because she did
I
get
don't
shot.
know. Yeah, I don't know. Like I don't think she got shot fully. I think the bullet grazed her.
Well, she got hit.
Just like
Okay,
yeah,
she was injured, but no one really knew, or no one was really saying what happened. And I think this case ended up being solved because of the eyewitness.
Well, that was the thing too, man. It's just, man. I mean, I'm sorry if I'm the judge in this, man. I'm gonna be like Judge Joe Brown or somebody. I'll be like, all right, all three of y'all are dumb as fuck. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna do no criminal charges on this. You guys are ridiculous. You guys are
Right.
supposed to be role models in the community out here, and you guys are out here looking like buffoons, man. Like, get
Wasting
this
everybody's
case,
time. Yeah.
yeah, wasting everybody's time. Get this case out of my court. I don't want to care about what happened to none of y'all. Y'all just need to stop acting. If you're gonna be a public figures and doing all this shit, you need to act right, man, and go about your business. This is ridiculous, man. You know what I'm saying? And get the fuck out of here. And I
Yeah.
sent them on their way, man, because that was just a big ass waste of time. It was bullshit. You didn't do anything but possibly hurt another man's life, and not just his life. You know what I'm saying? His child's life. Like it was ridiculous. This is something that they got to learn from.
Yeah,
You
but
know what
then
I'm
again,
saying?
I mean, then again, when you're high profile and famous, you got to learn how to move accordingly throughout these streets, man.
Right.
You know,
Uh,
for one, the only person who should have had a gun should have been the bodyguard.
the bodyguard. Exactly. And fucking exactly. And Tori, that's what your dumb ass fault. That's your dumb ass fault. I don't know I don't know whose fucking gun it was.
Right.
I don't know who's the fucking gun. But the fact if you did know that motherfucker was around and it was in the bottom seat and you thought it was safe or whatever the fuck, that's your bad, homie. Like, nigga, you don't need to be having that shit, especially if your bodyguard is licensed to carry a
Right.
gun. Nigga, his job is to protect you, nigga. My nigga, you don't need a gun then.
And then being a bodyguard, this is another thing that I kind of think about too. Okay, if you're the bodyguard, if you saw the the conversation escalating into an argument, why didn't you stop the vehicle
Why don't you?
and be like, hey, let's separate all this, everyone chill out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, your job is to de-escalate situations, not,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like that's what I was watching that too, and then I heard that from like a personal bodyguard thing. And he said my job is not to what I'm saying to stop or do anything like that. Is to de-escalate situations, and then
Right.
if I have to deal with it and serve with force, then I do that. But otherwise, what I'm saying, you got to be able to talk to people. You got to be able to try to be able to at least some point calm people. I mean, at some point calm people down. And so, like, I didn't know there was so much that went into just being a bodyguard instead of just like, oh, nigga, jump in front of bullets and nigga and shooting back and shit like
Right.
that. So,
I'm kind of surprised. I mean, because it seemed like all this funk started because of the party. So I'm wondering why they never called Kylie to the stand. Because she could have told how everyone was acting that night,
right.
who was being unruly, who was being out of hand, why why certain people had to leave, because I guess the word is Megan was kind of unruly and she was asked to leave the premises. So I'm wondering, you know, what was the
And there's,
situation? What was the situation leading up to before she had to leave?
well, I would, I heard this, but this is funny to me because, so isn't Kylie supposed to be with, I don't know which one it is, Kendall or Kylie or whatever. One of them's with Travis Scott, right?
Right.
But there was a report that that nigga Tory Lanez was in the pool with her, like flirting on her and shit like that, fucking around with her and shit like that. Like nigga, nobody batted an eye at that. I was like, yeah, like, hold on, this little nigga was in the pool with one of the little Jenner's cousin. Nobody said like, wasn't she supposed to be like that? I know both of them little bitches got boyfriends right now.
I think at the time they were separated though. I don't. I think.
Oh,
Plus,
well,
it's Hollywood, man.
well, whatever, cuz.
Everybody's with
But I was
everybody,
just
man.
like,
So
cuz, like, niggas, like, damn, nigga, they ever be fucking on each other like something like crazy, yeah, man. Like,
it's Hollywood.
yeah, cuz, like, I wouldn't put it past them, not all of them now, nigga, that they be fucking on each other and just passing each other around and shit like that, man. That's why they call Hollywood a cesspool, man.
Hey man, like I always
Yeah,
say, keep your ass at home.
yeah, man. It's
If you want to party,
crazy.
if you want to party, man, bring the party to you.
But I'm just gonna say this. I don't agree with the verdict, but like I said, I'm not one of the niggas that's gonna be like for Tory and all that shit. I'm not for none of them niggas. They was all dumb. Like it was a dumb situation, like I said, because if
I
I was
think,
a judge, nigga, I'd have tossed that shit out so quick and like, get the fuck out of here, man. Y'all got bigger issues to deal with.
but I think it was one of those things where the judge was like, you guys been wasting everyone's time. Towards like, hey, we got to find somebody guilty. You know what I mean? Like you wasted so much time not, pleading the fifth and not being truthful. We have to put this on somebody because we're not wasting any more taxpayers' dollars on this case.
Well, that makes you, but that makes me think the question of like what Tory Lanez's dad was saying after, like, where did the influence come from for them to rule towards Megan? And because Megan's not a part of Rock Nation yet, but she was on her way into Rock Nation, and her lawyer was from Rock Nation. So for him to say something he did, I think there's some truth behind it. I don't think it's full truth that Rock Nation was the cause of Tory getting completely, found guilty of all three charges. But I think I think they have some influence in it.
Yeah, that, and then I also find it funny the way Hollywood works and music industry works. So 2 years ago, when this case first came out, I just find it weird that all of a sudden at these award shows, Megan starts winning all these awards as well, and it's like, all right, I
Women
can.
empowerment, because I'm sorry, man. I ain't trying to make fun of it, but like, yeah, it's a little bit too obvious now.
I
It's
mean,
like
I'm all for it, man. I,
I'm not, no, man. I'm gonna be honest. Megan Thee Stallion is not y'all savior, women. So y'all better find somebody else, man, because that,
there's lines being drawn. Like everything's fucked up in the world right now, man. Like,
yeah, that's for damn sure, man.
you know, I sit and wonder back, to growing up and how it used to be, which, I'm not saying the world was perfect back then. It was probably all fucked up as well, but we were little kids, so we didn't know any better. So being older now, yeah, I mean, there are things that should be fixed and changed, but it's like the scales have tipped too far.
And that makes me think something else too. Because when you say that too, President Biden said this too. And in one of his speeches, we are already in the new world order. And yes, I'm gonna throw my conspiracy in there. You know how COVID hit and the monkeypox and all that stuff, and then they eradicated a lot. A lot of people died from that.
Hmm.
And then one of the Georgia Guidestones was knocked down.
One of the what was?
Georgia Guidestones.
For those who don't know, because I don't know, can you explain that?
Oh, you don't know what the Georgia Guidestones are?
No.
They are stones that were built in Georgia that have certain like creeds on them. Keep the
Georgia, wait,
population.
Georgia
Georgia
and
in the United
United States. Okay.
States, yes, yes. Some rich people who that people don't know who they are. It's probably a bunch of rich investors that came together, built these rocks, engraved them. They put certain things on these rocks about the New World Order. They wanted to keep the population or lower the population to 500 million people. Uh, do this. Everybody had one religion, or excuse me, one currency, and all that stuff. Like everybody, if you don't know about the Georgia guys, don't look them up. But the current events that Pet just passed is coming to see, like, it's making me think the fruition of this shit is like crazy. Though. Okay, so we have that huge epidemic with COVID. It eradicates a lot of people. A lot of people died in RIP, and to those who lost someone in that certain, trying time and stuff like that. But a lot of people passed away in COVID.
Hmm.
Um, and a lot of people passed away with monkeypox. So now with
Hold
the
on,
popular.
where did monkeypox go? Because it's like it was here and now
I don't
it's
know. It was here for a week and then and
it's
then
like
left. And like it was just like
I
it
swear to
was
God.
nothing.
Some
Like
shit. I think some of this. I mean, I know COVID was real because I had COVID. Not, I didn't have the first epidemic. I had like the later on stages.
right.
But it's like some of this shit is like okay, it's here
You
and then
gotta
it's gone.
question.
It's like
That's why a lot of people question it. Like, all right, motherfucker. Like, okay, now y'all got some other shit now. Like, it's going to monkeypox, nigga. It's
the
going to be
murder
rabbit
hornets.
flu. Yeah, the murder hornets, rabbit flu, bird flu, swine flu. Like there's always something trying about to, whatever.
Decimate the population. Yeah.
And that's what I think. And that's where I think the New World Order part is coming into it because now the population is down. It is down. It hasn't went down to what, like 500 million, but it did go down a significant amount, like maybe 2-3% of
Hmm.
the world went down. And so now they brought these New World Order theories, and that's why, excuse me, I'm sorry to say this, we're seeing a lot of um, different things that we haven't noticed from the past on TV now. Um, a lot of sexual stuff becoming in our everyday TV shows now.
Hmm.
Sexualization, a lot of these kids being exploited, and you're seeing all this pedophilia coming out now is because we are in the new world order now. And that's what these people, most of these people in the higher ups, they practice this shit.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And like it's crazy.
If
It's
that's the
crazy.
wait, but if that's the case, if they were the same ones running the world to begin with, why now are they? If all this shit has been going on for years and decades and centuries,
Nah,
why
they've been
now are
building up.
they? I
They've
know,
been building up for it
but what I'm saying is, why would they allow that to happen in the past? And all of a sudden, it's like, all right, let's get rid of everybody who's been doing all this nasty shit, although they knew what was going on to begin with.
because it's like they say, you have the good and the evil. And this is where it is. The weird thing about it is you have those higher up people, they all believe in the same God, I guess, or entity.
Okay,
But the duality thing is what kills me about it is okay, you believe in the same spirit or same person, but you have a dual side of it, the good and evil of it, the yin
right.
and yang. You have the people that believe in the same people, but they do the evil part of it. And then you have people that believe in the same thing, but they want to stop the people who do the good evil part of it. So it's the yin and yang.
But they're doing the same exact shit though,
Yeah,
which is
it's
why
just
it's
it's all what it is, right? So I mean, we are living in some fucked up ass times, and I don't know when it's gonna get better. I don't know if it's gonna get better, but I'm starting to see like all the shit I've been seeing and stuff like that. It's not just full fledged coming to light, but I'm starting to see stuff now,
mhm.
and I'm like, and I'm questioning like, damn, okay. Whew. So I just got to make sure the kids grow up with, gritted heads on their shoulders
Yeah.
and they continue to, pass that along to as many people as they can.
All this shit going on in the world, and they get rid of everybody for all the wrongdoings, but yet guns are
Right.
still here. So, all right, real quick, I wanted to touch on this topic. So,
Yeah.
for those of you cryptonaries or those
Ah.
who wanted to be in crypto,
Ooh.
so the FTX co-founder, let me find his name here. Give me one second. So FTX co-founder Sam Bankman-Fried, he
Mm-hmm.
agreed to be extradited from the Bahamas to the United States for cryptocurrency fraud, where he defrauded millions of people for like $8 billion.
Mm-hmm.
So I, I know we had an episode a couple years or 2 years ago about crypto. And we were like, oh yeah, look, because once, once like Bitcoin blew up, and because my wife knew some people, and some people really got paid off of um, cryptocurrency, right? Off of Bitcoin,
Yeah.
especially. So it was like, oh man, let's try to find the next big thing, right? So everyone's tossing their money in there, especially during COVID because no one's working. So they're trying to make the money
Right.
work for them, right? So everyone's believing they're going to hit the next big thing. So is cryptocurrency? real or is it all been a fraud? It's, I mean, to me, it's like the lottery. You know, you gotta pay to play, but it's like where we um not shown, but where we misled or misguided due to having COVID, being rampant also, like, hey, this is the best way to make your money work for you. Invest in cryptocurrency, knowing that none of this shit would ever even pan out. And so now people are even hurting more, especially those who put a lot of money. Like I put a couple $100 in. I'm not crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, yeah, right.
But there are
But
some people who were putting in like their life savings, and now all that shit's gone. Now they're, mental health is real, but now they're like, oh, what can I do with my
what the
life?
fuck
I'm
do
going
I do?
crazy, and now I'm gonna, hurt myself, or stuff like that. So,
You gotta think of it like this: is if you got into Bitcoin when it was like Dogecoin prices right now, 8 cents, ten
mhm.
cents, whatever, you're good. Like you're good. Doesn't matter because every Bitcoin is still worth what 16 grand right now.
Right, right,
So you're still in the surplus. But if you got into Bitcoin when it was like 20 G's a Bitcoin,
yeah,
and then you seen it shot up to 40 and 50 and 60 G's and shit like that, and you was like, hell yeah, and you didn't cash out. You didn't pull your shit out at that time, and now it's down to 16. And say you put your debt life savings into it when it was at 20, and now it's down to 16.
hmm
Mm, mm, mm.
or at least be smart enough to
But
pull some out and then just leave the rest in there.
nah, man, that was the thing. Is was like I don't know how it was, but I remember at the end, like right in the middle, towards the end of COVID, that shit was hitting high, and I was like, "Cuz, like, fuck that, cuz I'm cashing out, cuz," and I did too. I cashed the fuck out. So I mean, not all of them. I still got my little a couple of Doge coins, and man, that shit has been so depressed. Like I don't even look at that shit no more, nigga, because that
No.
shit just stay around 6, 7 cents the whole
Uh-huh.
time. It shot up to 73% cent one time, nigga. I don't even think it's ever gonna touch that again. Cause,
Yeah, I don't think
and
I'm
I was
ever,
thinking like, I was like, damn, cause I should have did that shit. Cause,
because
but
in my head, I have one stock, I have like 730 shares, whatever.
uh,
I'm like, dude, if it just goes to like 1G a share, I'm just cashing that shit out. Like, fuck it. You know what I mean? It's like, cool.
uh,
Or at least 10. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm out. But
I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm gonna say this too. Jay was talking me out of that shit too, because he was he was making me think. He was like,
yeah,
"Hell
it's like,
yeah,
man,
kid."
I ain't
Yeah,
got
he was
well,
like,
yeah, but he was doing some money though. That's why I was like,
"Yeah."
fuck that.
He's like, "I'm gonna hold on to it, cause it's like,
Well, you have to now. You already if you invest
yeah,
that
it's
much,
too
it's like
late now.
yeah, you gotta hold on
You
to
have
it.
to wait. You have to wait for it to go back up, right?" But I'm just saying, like, bro, I was just like, "Cuz, like you tripping, cuz I ain't putting on." And that was the thing too, is like, oh, I got one more question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think that the all these partners that FTX hired that they should be liable for some of the, losses and stuff like that? Or should they just is it just like they said, well, I only was hired as a spokesman, so like I mean I can understand
But
it's
like,
for me. Okay, go ahead.
but with all things, it's a gamble,
Right.
So it's like, let's say let's say if you hit the lottery, right, and now you have millions of dollars. So your homeboys comes to you, he's like, hey, I got this business plan. Invest in me, right? Invest.
Right.
Okay, you get your money back like threefold. So you look at this business plan, you're like, you know what? It's my homeboy. I believe him. I trust him, right? Hey, here you go. Here's $1 million, right? Next thing you know, he's like, yeah, it didn't work out like I planned. How you gonna get mad? Like you know what I'm saying? Like,
True.
you can't really get
True.
mad. So,
But the thing is too is I can understand is like I'm at this point. I don't think they should be liable because like you got to be smarter with your money than for I mean just for like Tom Brady to tell you to go out and buy something and your dumb ass go out and buy it just because it's Tom Brady. Like that's that's your bad. I'm
yeah.
sorry
But it's
because
kind of the
like
same. It's kind of the same thing with like Yeezys or like Jordans. Jordan's like, hey, buy my shoes. You're like, yeah, I'm buy some Jordans, right? So, but there are certain people who put these athletes and put these entertainers at a higher plateau to where they believe everything that they say. And when it doesn't work out, it's like,
Well,
oh well.
oh well. Like nigga,
And to them, they're just spokespeople. It's like, hey,
yeah,
it ain't my company. I just,
yeah.
hey,
I was hired. They
yeah,
hired
they
me
pay me
to
to
say
talk.
that to
Hey,
you.
they pay
They
me. So,
tired. They hired me for millions of dollars to tell you what I told you.
hey, I got
But
mine.
should they be liable for that though? I mean,
Not
since
if
we
I
put
mean,
it like,
not if you're
since we put
hired. Not if you're hired to be a spokesperson because they're only reading off the script of what they're told to be or what they're told to read, right? So now, if it's let's say if that was Tom Brady's company and he's giving you this information, then he's more or less likely responsible for it.
right, but at the same time too, like is you they paid you millions of dollars to deceive people, and even though you may not have known now,
Well,
is
that
it
goes
your
back.
is
That
it
goes
at
back
your
to
well, I mean, is it your obligation to be like, okay, well, it's just like people saying with Jackson said and Dion, as like, I mean, just on the other side of it, it's like, all right, we knew that, I knew that, I didn't know they was taking my money or taking money, but you know what I'm saying? But oh man, I forgot how I'm going to explain this stuff. But
But see,
what
that's
I'm trying,
different. There's a contract stating that, hey, if you hit this percentage, this is what you get for the football team,
right?
and the school didn't meet that, so it's written in the contract. That's kind of
Okay,
different. But
all right.
I was gonna tie it back to the YSL thing. It's like you said, it's like Gunna. He's just probably just a spokesperson. You know what I'm saying, for YSL, they pay him to be the spokesperson. But did he really know what was going on? So should he be responsible for
Then him. But then that's what everybody makes a key point. Then the nigga, if that's the case, then nigga, why you plea out? Like you had a month to go until your trial, a month. And I seen this happen a lot of times too. Right before the trial, the if they don't have enough evidence on you, they toss the shit.
Mhm.
They toss it. Like, and that's what and like after you seen Gunna's charges, man, I'm sorry, man. You could have spent at least another month in there, and you could have get your shit got tossed. And the hit, and the crazy thing about it is like, well, and this is what Gunner was people were saying is like most people that go to that been to prison is like, nigga, you only have 5 years, nigga. Like, nigga,
5 years
you
is a
could.
lot, nigga.
Nah, I mean, to certain niggas, I mean, you know what I'm saying? You only have 5 years. To certain niggas, that's nothing.
But I mean, okay, but it's kind of like 5 years being a kid during like Christmas time during spring break or like summer vacation compared to being an adult during summer vacation when you're working the whole time, so it goes by fast like this, right? But if you're in prison, you're just sitting there for
Nah,
five
not
years.
in prison. If you're in jail, yeah, you're sitting there. If you're in prison, there's a lot of shit you can do. There's programs. There's, uh, you can do school. Like you can work. Like yeah, there's all kinds of shit they have for you in prison for you to do to where you pass your time and you can do shit like that. Nigga, there was some. I mean, a lot of people even told me you can have what's them where you can have sex in prison too.
Oh, conjugal
Yeah,
visits.
yeah, conjugal
Yeah.
visits. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like nigga, like what you need, cause like I mean, nigga, they feed you. Nigga, you get to learn, possibly learn a trade, go to school. If you didn't graduate high school, you can get your a high school diploma in there. In a lot of prisons in America now, you can also get a college degree in.
Hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And if you can get conjugal business, nigga, like what you need, like nigga, you don't even need to get out of prison no more.
Yeah. I mean, wow, I'm just gonna live here,
Like
cuz.
man, and
It's cool.
you gonna though, cause
Yeah,
cause
but
you either had his own cell, You know what I'm saying? He'd have had his own cell. He'd have had his own TV. You know what I'm saying? He'd have been calling shots, nigga, because niggas have been like, hey, gunning. Like, he could have bought like a carton of cigarettes on the yard, nigga, and been a king. Nigga, oh, nigga, here, I'll give you this cigarette. Nigga, go on and do this for me. You know what I'm saying? Run over there and give me this. Nigga, do this for me. Nigga, I need this. Nigga, he could have been there talking to little kids. You know what I'm saying? All the little motherfuckers is coming in there
Right.
fucking up. You know what I'm
Scare straight.
saying? Yeah, like I'm not even scared straight. It's like, nigga,
Right. But
you're gunning, you're a multi-millionaire nigga. Like, you're in here, you could have changed hell of people. Like, nigga, people should get on gunning more. They should get on Deion Sanders. Nigga, you was in a party where you could have really changed a lot of kids' lives. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, you could have talked to them and shit like that. And then if he would have did that, they would have knocked. You know how much time they would have knocked off his thing for all that good time and that shit.
mhm.
Like, there's certain things, man. This nigga, like, I don't know who the fuck his advisors are, nigga. Like, nobody was advising that nigga on some real shit. Nobody
All right.
said you gotta go. If they give you 5 years, nigga, you don't really have to sit down 5 years and wait 5 years. There's a lot of programs and shit that he could have did to where he got his time knocked down to, maybe, like you said, he could have got all that shit knocked down to where he did. He been in there for 7 months.
Right.
He like I was watching this lawyer and said if he'd have just been quiet and just stood on his toes, he'd have been out in another 5 and then got all his, like, he wouldn't have had no charges, no nothing. They'd have just, like, he'd have just say, I'm gonna go to prison for him to do it, like, take what he is, and then he'd have made parole, and then he wouldn't have had to deal with none of this shit. And guess what? He'd have got street cred, one of the most coveted things that the niggas is trying to get at.
Yeah. I don't even want to get into the street cred shit.
Well, I mean, and
I mean,
it's
we could talk.
coveted. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's coveted by them niggas. So, I mean, if
Right.
you want it, then you had a chance to get it. Now, does he have it?
That's
I
important to you guys,
know.
huh? You know.
Yeah,
But
I mean, it is important to a lot of niggas, man.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Well, I mean, street like okay, if you're living that, if you're living that life, if you believe in those values, then yeah, street, you know, street cred is very important to you. That's
It's
what I
not,
got.
well, it's, yes, but if
Okay.
you're
Oh,
some young kid that's just watching it and you hear about it and you learn about it, it's gonna be important to you too. Because I know all these kids that talk about, oh, nigga, he ain't no snitch, or no snitching and no snitching. Like, nigga, they ain't never been in that situation before.
right. But those are the ones that are trying to live that life. So, for instance, you being a past football player, basketball player in high school, did you really hear about street cred?
I mean, I heard about it.
No. What I'm saying is, did you care about it? Like you were playing sports, so did you really care about street cred?
Nah, not so much as, not more than I cared about sports. But I
Right.
didn't want to
Right.
be known as no punk on the streets either.
But what I'm saying is, well, that's totally different. But I'm saying street cred, if you're living your life for the streets, if you're in the streets, then that holds a higher regard in your life.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. So if that's the
Right.
life, if that's the life that you want to live or lead, then of course that's going to mean more to you. Whereas if you're not even involved in that life, in that underworld, so to speak, then street cred really doesn't matter to you.
Well, we'll find out.
Yep.
But it was funny though, because I was, I gotta say this because I was watching the interview with Charleston White, and that nigga cracks me up because he said some of the realest shit I've been thinking. Cause, like, about not the snitching. So I don't agree with him on snitching. I think he just be trolling about snitching. But anyway, he was talking about gunning. He was like, nigga, he said, nigga, just think about what Gunner did though. He got out of jail, right? And in order to get people, to, like, not see him as a snitch and all this shit, he set up that thing to where Walmart, where he's gonna go and hand out $100,000 worth of gift cards at gift cards at Walmart, nigga.
Hey, you got to buy the people back, man. Buy the respect
Nah,
back.
man, cause but Charles White made a good point. He's like, nigga, Walmart must have looked at this nigga and be like, nigga, it's like, nigga, if you don't get your funky ass up out of here, nigga, we ain't trying to have that type of energy up in here, man. Like, what we gonna be looking like, nigga? You like, like you rapping about such and such taking the trial and shit, nigga, and then you out here, you know what I'm saying? You sold you snitched, he said you snitched on your boys, and then you trying to be out here at Walmart trying to hand out 100 gift cards to give people to like you again. Man, you need to take that money
And put
and
on his
go to like
books.
not his books. He said nigga go to like a kid's shelter, like some kind of cause, and take that money and give it to them and have them be like gonna change my life in that way. And I totally agree with that. Like nigga, like this shit is you stupid motherfuckers who would I mean because you read that whoever told him to do that was I mean you got to be retarded. Yeah, it's Christmas.
Yeah, nigga,
You
he trying to be
got
home for the
thousands.
holidays. He was
Yeah,
trying to be
but
home for
if
the
you obviously, yeah, he trying to get home for the holidays, nigga. But obviously, if motherfuckers is able to go to Walmart in order during Christmas, they're going there to buy their kids shit. What makes you think all these kids need an extra $100? You know what I'm saying? Just for them to, for them parents to get them some shit at Walmart. Like you said, now I was just thinking like, cause that, like somebody needs to tell Gunna dumbass, like you know what I'm saying, like you dumb motherfucker, like don't try to like that's the dumbest thing. You're a multi-billionaire, nigga. You can change actual kids' lives who need it. You can change people's actual lives who need it. What the fuck are you doing? Why are you going into Walmart, nigga, and passing on $100 gift cards and you got little kids that don't got places to sleep? You know what I'm saying during Christmas right now.
true, but then again, I mean, on the other side, you do have families who are trying to buy gifts for their kids who are barely making ends meet. So it could make some kids Christmas better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
it
understand.
could.
I understand what you're saying. Like, why would you try to buy the people's respect back when you can just go help out unfortunate
Yeah,
kids?
dude. Yeah,
But
yeah. That my thing is this. Okay, if you didn't snitch and you didn't do all that, nigga, by all means, stand in front of Walmart, nigga, and pass out your $100 gift cards, nigga. But if you trying to make points now and you trying to get people to stop you for them from saying you're snitching, nah, you going now passing $100 gift cards to the people at Walmart is not the way to do that, my nigga. Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
I have
Is it?
one more topic real fast, and it's kind of a pretty cool. It's not. I mean, it's a pretty cool premise, but I kind of want to get your feel on it.
All right.
Um, Let me find the name of it. But it's a new movie coming out, and no, it's not Cocaine Bear because that's the stupidest shit ever.
And nigga, I was like,
Uh,
"Cuz, are you fucking serious?" Because I was like, come on. That's another thing that makes me think we're in a new world order because movies like that come out. Yeah.
well, that that was actually a true story.
Yeah, I heard about it. I heard about it, but okay, maybe all right, it was a comedy then. But I
Oh,
didn't think the story was actually real.
so I saw this yesterday during the one of the NBA games. It's a new M
Mm.
Night Shyamalan movie called
Oh,
Knock at the Cabin.
yeah.
So the premise is these four individuals come in to this cabin where there are there's a couple, two males, and they have a daughter, right?
Hmm.
And they give them an ultimatum, like, we need one of you guys to sacrifice someone in order to save the whole world because I guess the apocalypse is coming. And
Hmm.
so it's like you have to sacrifice someone in order to save the world, or the whole world's going to end. Now, my question to you is, what are you choosing to do?
Again, if the whole world has to end because there's three of us and one of us has to be sacrificed, I would be the one that sacrificed myself to go.
Yeah, I'll see all y'all niggas in heaven.
Like, because it's,
'Cause I'm not
he said,
sacrificing. I'm not sacrificing my wife, my daughter, my
yeah,
mama.
I'm
You
not,
know what I'm saying? So it's like,
oh, yeah,
hey, nah.
I'm gonna be the one to go. I'm not gonna sit there and be the one to kill them. Nah, bro. Like, y'all niggas can do it. I'll be the one to go. Like I said, you know what I'm saying? Just remember me. Pour some liquor out for me, kids.
Oh, yeah, they're gonna build a big statue. Like, yeah, he saved the world. You know what I'm saying?
Just make me a martyr and fucking.
But yeah, I
Uh,
kind of want to get your input on that because I saw that I was like, that's a pretty cool concept, but it's like, oh,
mm.
that's kind of dark. I don't know
It's, yeah,
about that.
it's a little morbid. But I
Yeah.
did see one that did what cracked me up, the little Megan one, because where the little dog, the little robotic dog.
Yeah. You're gigging.
That's, that shit's gonna be loud. And cause I don't know what the dancing was for where the bitch little, she started doing that shit. Cause I was just like, cause like I don't know if they're trying to be funny or whatever the fuck, but I was just like,
But I mean, but she's an AI doll and she doesn't know any better. So she's like, oh, just dance right here and then you
yeah,
can't like
that nigga, she had some cool ass little moves. Nigga did that thing with turn around the leg, and then took the the paper cutter off.
yeah.
Man, was she was doing that before she got to that paper? Unless that little robot was like super strong. Nigga, I'd have ran up. Nigga, Jimmy Superfly kicked her right through the wall. like you little bitch.
Ah.
So,
Throw some water on that bitch.
look at ear. Make her malfunction.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing, though. Is a lot of these movies, because they do show a lot of people running away. What did you know, people, the motherfuckers wouldn't be ready if they just knew you would be like, you wouldn't run away if they was just like, nigga, say if a killer or like Texas Chainsaw Massacre dude, and everybody, that nigga, you know, them niggas run away from him. But like when he chasing, you see the niggas just turn around and just run back at you, like, ah, just yelling and shit like that. You know, he gonna be like, that nigga gonna stop and be like, "What the fuck is going on? like, what's about to happen?" So I always be thinking of movies because, like, nigga, I ain't gonna run for something, nigga. If I see it, if it's physically there, I'll say. If it's like a physical thing there, if it's a man, something like that, I'm gonna run instead of running away for it. I'm gonna just charge the shit, nigga, whatever, because if it's physically supposed to, or if it's gonna kill me, it's gonna kill me. But I'm gonna take a chunk out that motherfucker first.
You're gonna try to throw a punch, you're gonna catch your fist and then
Break it.
and break your arm like that old dude marked for death.
Nah, nigga. I already said this. I just tell you this at Harbor Freight because they had these hunting knives, nigga, big old Rambo knives, boy. And I bought me one. And so now if anything goes to shit, like the world goes to shit and everything break down and motherfuckers that can't use guns no more, you gonna see me with my big ass knife, nigga, with in my mouth. Nigga, I already told nigga, you know,
Hiding in the moss, nigga got
nigga,
paint and shit.
nigga,
Oh
I'm gonna be in
shit.
the trees because I'm gonna see an elk walk by, nigga. You gonna see me jump out the trees with my knife, nigga. You know, I'm gonna hold up this meat, nigga, like, ah!
Oh shit.
Nigga be out here savage at this motherfucking shit, nigga.
Oh shit.
Nah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
You got a teeth necklace on.
man. It's like
All his kills.
this.
Yeah. Every part of the animal, make part of your make part of your battle gear. You got the
Yeah,
you
like
got
the
the horse.
headdress.
Got
They
the,
put the headdress, the fur headdress, nigga.
yeah.
And I wipe their blood under my eyes whenever I. Yeah, man. But
That's hilarious.
I
All
don't know,
right,
man.
man. It's crazy.
Well, the world is going crazy right now. The
It's
best thing
going
you
to
can do is
shit
try the same and man, teach your kids to do right. Teach it.
because they're gonna have
Just
it a lot worse than we are. Because
yeah,
like
man.
we out
Ooh,
of here, you know what I'm saying? They still young. We almost out of here, so
yeah,
they're
boy.
the ones gonna have to deal with all this shit. So y'all need to make it a better place. Like like Michael Jackson said, heal the world,
Mm,
nigga. Oh,
yeah.
a lot of people don't. They really don't like Michael Jackson. So let me just heal the world.
I'm gonna keep it 100. I still love Michael, man. So. I don't know what happened. And for that reason, I don't judge him for that, man. He had a fucked up life, man. I rested, and I wish he rest in peace. If he
Sure.
did do that, I pray for his soul. But I don't believe so. So
All right. Well, another great episode. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I like this one, man. We about to kick into the new year, kind of
Yeah, we back in the
like
house.
Jean Claude
2023,
Van Damme.
22. Lionheart, kick his ass, Lionheart. Kicking the face.
Kicking him. that was that was great acting. The way that nigga got kicked in the face, and he had a strong face too. Because for that Lionheart to kick his face, nigga.
Yeah, he had structure. I think his jaw was on point. I think like lockjaw from He-Man. His jaw look
Like
strong as fuck.
like it was drawn, the line where they just draw up the two lines, nigga, like bam.
Oh man.
All right, man. Well, we wish y'all a Merry Christmas, man, a Happy New Year.
Yes. Happy holidays. Hopefully, 2023, great things will happen for everyone. We'll see, man. Don't know.
Man, manifest your own destiny, man. Don't let motherfuckers tell you what you need to do no more, man. We all need to come together as people and start lifting each other up.
And I'm glad you said that, because I'm gonna leave everyone with this. How important is family that be hating? And thank you guys once again for listening to Talking Speed After Hours. We're your hosts, TJ Bay and Ellen Poe. If you like it, you like it. If you love it, you love it. We love y'all. See y'all next week. Peace.
Peace. All right, out. Yes.
All right.